I really wanted to talk to you guys about hijabi hair problems. I get so many emails from loads of you guys who are wearing a scarf, who have maybe just started wearing a scarf, who've been wearing it for years and years. I've been wearing it for about 15 years. Oh my god, really? 11? Whoa. So I totally understand what these hijabi hair problems kind of are. Anyway, experiencing hair loss from wearing a scarf or hair thinning from it. I've also touched on very briefly in some of my previous videos about when I was younger and when I used to hair pull. I used to do a lot of hair pulling. And there's a name for it, which I can't remember, but it begins with a T and it's like trickle blah 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 something ania or mania. But not properly, because when I was doing that back in the days and that, I never really knew it was like a thing that people go through and then you can get help and stop hair pulling. I just used to do it, and then when I got older I realized, oh shit, that's what that was. You know, it's really difficult because when you wear a scarf, everybody's got this preconception that, you know, your hair underneath is stunning and it must be so healthy and it must be so amazing, right? But in reality, I think, I mean, I can't speak for every hijabi out there, because obviously there are hijabis out there who do have friggin' fantastic hair underneath, right? But I think for a lot, and I'm basing this on the amount of emails I get, and just with my friend circle in general, the hair underneath isn't that great. And so you're kind of like having to battle two problems here. One, just trying to fit in wearing the hijab and looking half decent wearing it out and about in work or in whatever you're trying to do anyway. And the other battle you're kind of facing is the fact that your hair actually isn't even that great underneath. So when you're in all female gatherings, everybody's kind of looking forward to seeing everybody without their scarf on and looking all glam and looking better, because we're supposed to all look better without it, right? Or we're supposed to look more attractive without it. And then you're kind of battling the fact that actually you look a bit shit without a scarf, right? I'm not saying that this is like the case for all hijabis, or this is the case for the hijabis that go through it and that's just how it is, they have to deal with it. But every hijabi probably, you know, goes through that phase in her hijabi lifetime at some point. And I 100% have, right? So before I get into like the hair pulling stuff, another thing that some people don't understand, if you've been wearing, and this kind of only applies for girls who've been wearing the hijab for like as long as me, let's say for like 15 years, for the majority of their teenage years and, you know, going into adult life. And this is kind of like the expectations in the Muslim community as well, not just in the non-Muslim community, right? The non-Muslims are kind of just like fantasizing. They're kind of like, oh, she must have beautiful hair underneath. She's gonna look like Jasmine from Aladdin or something like that. You're kind of expected to know how to style your hair in really nice ways, you know, and you're kind of expected to do that when you get married as well. Look, I can't speak for everybody, but for me, growing up, I always used to think about, oh, when I get married, because obviously I was a hijabi the whole time I was growing up. So I'd always look forward to, when I get married, I'm gonna do my hair like this and I'm gonna do it like this. For my husband, I'm gonna style it like this. Because obviously, you know, when you don't get to do something that the majority of women are doing every day, you always want to do it, right? You always want what you kind of not can't have, but you always want to do what you don't get to do, if that makes any sense. So growing up, I was always like, yeah, I can't wait to get married because I'm going to style my hair so nice. I'm going to wear such nice clothes at home and blah, 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 and all this stuff. But the reality is, guys, unless you were, you know, a hair connoisseur beforehand, or unless you just recently put on the scarf and for the majority of your life you've been styling your hair, the reality is you don't really have a clue how to style your hair. And you're always told, yeah, you can do your hair for your husband, you know, every day you're going to be like styling your hair and things like that. But the reality is, right, when you're at home, and this goes for every woman, I think, when you're at home, you just want to be comfortable. The last thing you want to do is dress up, you know, style your hair out, wear a full face of makeup. Like, that's the last thing you want to do. Sometimes, obviously, you feel like doing it for yourself and chilling out at home if you're messing around with makeup, stuff like that. Or you just do it because you feel good, right? Sometimes, if you're like a working woman, and I don't mean a makeup artist working woman, but even makeup artists, I doubt they have time to do makeup on their actual selves, right? Because they're too busy doing it on everyone else. If you're a full-time mother and you're at home all day with the kids, people think, or a lot of husbands think this, oh, you've been at home all day, why do you look a mess? Like, you should look half decent with me. But, you know, when you're a mother and you've got kids, like, that's the hardest job of it all, if you ask me, and it's the job that you don't get paid for as well. But that is definitely the hardest job on this planet, and it's the job where there's no breaks and no holidays whatsoever. It's 24/7. So the last thing you want to be doing, and you know, even if you do find time to do that, you know, you just want to be able to eat a slice of toast or something. Sometimes you do style your hair and you do your makeup, and it's kind of like, and it's like a treat kind of thing, or whoever it's for, whether it's for yourself or for your partner or whatever. But it's not an everyday thing. I'm not gonna lie, in my first year of marriage, I wasn't really doing much. I mean, I was doing the YouTube and the blogging, but it wasn't really, it was more of a hobby than like a career and work. I didn't have that much going on, to be honest with you, so I had a lot of free time. And in those days, Sid was going to his job, and then I'd be at home most of the day. I'd be at home all day, actually. What am I on about? And I didn't have a kid, obviously, back then. So I would try and, you know, wear something that I can't wear as a hijabi outside in public. I would try and do my hair, things like that. But it was so difficult because I don't actually know how to do my hair. You don't have a lot of that motivation because you're a hijabi and nobody really sees your hair, right? It's literally just you at home. But if you're one of those really, really busy hijabis and you're out all day and you're wearing a scarf all day, you literally come home, take it off, your hair is flat as a pancake on your head, pulled back, and you're just straight in your PJs and pretty much get into bed, or you're just doing your bedtime, your nighttime routine, whatever. So you haven't really got time, and I don't know, I just feel like we're expected to know these things for when we get married, but when were we supposed to have when every single day we wear a scarf, right? And obviously this gets onto the hair loss thing, right? I understand how, you know, a lot of you guys feel like you're losing hair or your hair's thin since wearing a scarf. And I feel the same, to be honest with you. When I look at pictures of me, you know, younger, oh, my hair was like so thick, so super thick, it looked amazing. And when I look at it now, I'm like, it's just not the same, because obviously it's been covered for years and years and years. But covering your hair can also have benefits for it, you know, keeping it away from the sun and stuff. But I think the main problem with the hair loss situation when you wear a scarf is, you know, how we wear our hair underneath. A lot of us tie our hair in tight buns or ponytails, and a lot of the time it's tight to keep it in place all day. So many people say, oh, just loosen it, it's simple. It's not that simple if you're busy and you're out and about all day, because it just becomes a mess. It's just like non-hijabis, you know, you want your hair to be perfect that day and you just do whatever's the most comfortable, and if it's out of place, it really pisses you off. The same thing applies with hijab, right? So when you wear your scarf, yeah, you pin it in place, you do your hair really securely underneath, you wear bandanas underneath to keep everything in place, and you do it quite tight so that it stays in place. So when you're doing that every single day for years and years and years, obviously it's gonna have a bit of an effect on your hair. If I was to take the scarf off right now, my hair is in a tight bun, like I can feel the pulling, you know what I mean? And sometimes I do like to loosen it, you know, to relieve that pressure and stuff. It is difficult, and I totally understand you guys, but one of the things that really, really helped me try and get my hair back on track is cutting it quite short, because I always used to have long hair, and I found that always put a strain on my head because it was so long, you know, so there's extra weight. And then, you know, as soon as you cut your hair short, there's like automatic extra bounce and extra life when you leave it out, because it's not dragging down. So I cut my hair, and then I started using coconut oil on my scalp every single night. One of the benefits of being a hijabi, right, is nobody sees your hair, so you can literally put coconut oil every night of the week and not wash your hair for like 10 days and nobody will know. So you're doing very, very intense repairing. I took advantage of that, and okay, I haven't really done much hair care since having Hannah and stuff, because I just haven't had time for myself, to be honest with you. And thankfully, actually getting pregnant during the pregnancy, God, it really helped me with my hair. Oh my God, all of a sudden, like, my hair was the thickest it's ever been, other than when I was a kid, obviously. Drench it in oil. Castor oil is really good, as well as coconut oil, also almond oil. Those are the three that I use: castor oil, coconut oil, and almond oil. And I'd literally put it on every single night, and I'd massage it into my scalp and all the way to the ends of my hair. And then I just put my hair up in a bun. I made that part of my routine, like a daily thing, and I did that over a year, and it really bloody helped, let me tell you. There's nothing that's going to be overnight, guys. Like, you see loads of, you know, YouTube videos or Instagram videos even. Put this mask on your hair, this mask on your hair, and then it's going to get rid of bald spots and that. But it's not. Like, everything is going to take at least a year, if you ask me, honestly. Another thing I used to do a lot, in Holland & Barrett, you can get nail and hair tablets. It's not a alternative food, but if you add them to your regular diet, because obviously none of us have our diets really on point, so a lot of the time, especially if you're busy and you're doing stuff, you miss the key vitamins that you need to keep your hair healthy and your nails healthy, right? So these vitamins are just kind of like putting that back into your diet, and that shit really helped me as well. Let me just touch on the trichotillomania, whatever it is called. I think it was due to a lot of anxiety, which at the time, you know, I think everybody goes through anxiety when they're younger. Some people have like really, really severe anxiety where they literally can't do anything. Some people have it a bit more mixed. I think mine was a bit more like, for example, growing up, there'd be some times where we've planned with mates to go out and stuff, but if I couldn't find something to wear, because I felt fat in everything, I would literally not go out and have a tantrum and like just be on the floor crying because I feel like I look fat, right? And I'd cancel on everybody. And by cancelling, I don't mean I'd phone up and say I'm not coming. I'd just ignore everybody and not turn up. That's what I would do. And most of the time I was the one driving and giving people lifts, so it means everybody didn't go anywhere. That was the kind of anxiety kind of thing that I had. I also had loads of problems with talking to people. I know nobody believes it actually, but like even now I find if I have to go somewhere where I have to talk to people and I have to like see a lot of people and I have to socialize, about a week beforehand, it takes me about a week to psych myself up to prepare to go and do that. And I think a lot of people go through that, and it's just something you just deal with daily. I didn't really go through some crazy bullying or anything, but you know, teenage years are just difficult, especially wearing a scarf and being a bit chubby and just trying to get by in high school, you know, it's just difficult, high school in general. So anyway, I remember I'd be at home every single night and I'd be like eating snacks because I'd binge eat as well because I had an eating disorder, which I've also lightly touched on in a very, very, very old video of mine, but I will talk about that properly in the future. I'd be binge eating, but because I'd be so like anxious, I'd always be fidgety as well. I could never sit still. So the thing that I found to calm that was kind of just like, and it was always this side of my head, was just like pulling my hair from this area, literally this area right here. I'd just sit there and I'd like take a strand, I'd stroke the strand of hair and I'd wrap it around my finger and I'd pull it. And I'd pull it out of my scalp. And I remember that feeling of pulling it was so satisfying that I'd just go to the next one and I'd do it again. And I'd keep on pulling my hair. And this went on for months and months and months until one day I just looked in the mirror and I think I was probably due to go to like a all girls party or something. So I was like trying to figure out what I was going to do with my hair, right? And I was flicking my hair over this side and then I flicked it over this side. And I remember looking and thinking, what the F is that? And it was a bald spot. I'd created a bald patch for myself from all the hair pulling. And then from then I was like, oh shit, this is from me sitting down every night watching EastEnders and pulling my hair. Look what I've done. Oh my God, is this even going to grow back? For you to pull it out of its root and to do that repetitively in the same area makes it very difficult for that hair to grow back. And it took me years and years and years to get that bald spot a bit better. Not even to fix it. It doesn't look like a bald spot anymore, but it was. Let me tell you, it was a full bald patch. But over years and years, like probably like 5, 6, 7 years even I'm still kind of like doing things to help it now with the coconut oil. So from that day that I noticed it, alhamdulillah, it was kind of like a kick up the butt and I just stopped pulling my hair. But I didn't stop fiddling with my hair. Whenever I had my hair out, I always just fiddle with it. I always just play with my hair. Like I always just have to touch my hair, and it really annoys me because I'd look at my sister who's watching TV next to me very calmly and she doesn't feel the need to touch her hair whatsoever, go anywhere near her hair with her hands. Whereas I was just sitting there and like the first thing I do really annoyed me. And I still do that now. I still fiddle with my hair all the time. It pisses me off. But anyway, what I was going through is that trickle thing. And I wish I'd known that it was the proper thing and then I'd gone and like sorted it out beforehand. But I was very young and I know that a lot of you guys are also going through hair pulling now because my inbox is full of emails literally titled hair pulling help, hair pulling help. And then after that, I moved on to actually eyelash pulling. Yes. I thought, okay, my eyelashes are a lot smaller and they grow back a lot quicker than hair because obviously like the eyelashes. So I would just sit there and I'd pull my eyelashes out all the time and it just felt so satisfying. I wish I, used that kind of urge to pull out something that would be more beneficial to me now, like my leg hairs or something. If you guys are going through the same thing, at least you're aware of it, and I would say do what I wish I did, which is go and try and get some help for it. There's a lot of people that can help you with it now, a lot of organizations, and if you've hair pulled and it's become so severe that you're literally, your whole hair is thinning and it's very, very obvious. There are things that you can do. It's kind of like a weave, but they completely cover the baldness for you and you look like you have a full head. And obviously, you know, obviously the whole hair pulling thing starts from, you know, I don't know, but mine I think is triggered from anxiety, things like that. So a lot of us just want to be confident, right? Especially when you're not wearing your scarf. So obviously not having a bald spot in front of your mates and stuff is going to boost your confidence 110%. And you can kind of do that as a way to kind of cover up your bald spots while you're rehabbing your hair until you've managed to hopefully get it all back on track, inshallah. Also, another good thing that you can do, if you've got kind of bald spots that are quite light from hair pulling or just from hair loss from wearing a scarf in general, what you can do is you can fill in those bald spots with eyeshadow. It looks very, very natural. I'm pretty sure Kim Kardashian does that shit because her hairline is literally like a Lego piece been plonked on. I think she does it a bit too much, to be honest with you, but you can put a bit of eyeshadow in to just help that if it's quite light, your bald spots. There's a lot of things that you can get as well, like hair chalks and stuff that can add a lot of volume to your hair and then cover those spots, you know, if you style it in certain ways. I get a lot of emails from people who are experiencing their hairline receding and they're experiencing a very big forehead. Let me just tell you, big foreheads are nice, so good on you for that. You know when you tie your hair in a bun under your scarf, what I like to do, once it's in a tight bun and secure, I pull my hair out of the bun so that that bit's loose. There'd just be days where I would refuse to go out just to let my hair breathe because I was just so sick of being tied up in a scarf all day. I think a lot of girls think that they're also experiencing hair loss, but they're not really. They're just seeing the amount of hair falling out all in one chunk, like when you come home and take your scarf off, rather than gradually throughout the day. Also, another thing that really, really helps me, this is going to sound gross, but I actually don't even care because it really works. I don't brush my hair. I do not brush my hair. I refuse to brush it because I don't think it's good for it. To be honest with you, I don't need to brush it. If I just wash my hair, by the way, this is something else which is quite disgusting, but I really don't care. I wash my hair once every 10 days, sometimes even 2 weeks. There's no need to wash it. And I don't think, okay, it might sound disgusting, but I don't think it's actually that disgusting because your hair creates natural oils which are good for your hair. Like, you know, when your hair gets greasy, that's actually good for your hair. So I like to let my hair get greasy and let it rehab itself. Basically, guys, most shampoos are shit for your hair. They are not good for your hair. They're not. Shampooing your hair daily is the worst thing. So I refuse to wash my hair. I just have regular body showers. But anyway, this video is getting crazy long. So I kind of want to do this video because I've got so many emails of people going through the same thing, but I feel like nobody talks about it because it's a bit embarrassing for a girl, especially if you're in a hijab and everybody kind of expects that you're going to have gorgeous hair underneath and that you're going to look amazing. And I believe that every hijabi does look 100 times better without her scarf on if she gets the hairstyling correctly. You know what I mean? A lot of people who are underwhelmed when they see a hijabi without her scarf just know that that's because she doesn't know how to style her hair. You know what I mean? She knows how to style her scarf because she does that every day. But when it comes to hair, it's a bit different. So I feel like if everybody has a good haircut and gets the right hair color, then every hijabi will look better than wearing a scarf. So, you know, if you're one of those hijabis who feel like you don't actually look that great without one and you're kind of worried about getting married and your husband expecting bloody Princess Jasmine when she takes the scarf off, when you take your scarf off, and then you're not really Princess Jasmine, you're more like Aladdin. Feel like a lot of you guys are gonna get me because you're probably going through the same or have gone through the same kind of thing. Also, so many of us hijabis, because we wear a scarf every day, right? We crave to be able to do crazy things with our hair, like dye our hair crazy colors, shave the side of it, do like a mohawk. Like, I know so many hijabis who underneath their scarf, their hair is definitely not what you would expect. If you are a newlywed and you think your wife looks like shit at home, but then she wears makeup and she puts a scarf on when she goes out, so what's the point? She's doing it for other people. She's not. She's just looking presentable for the public, which is normal. It's required of people. You don't want to go out looking like a tramp. And at home, obviously you just want to be comfortable because you're chilling, you're relaxing, you're at home. You know what I mean? So people just kind of understood that would be good. I think that's pretty much everything I felt like I needed to say. Leave your advice for any girls who might be going through that or if you've been through that. But I hope this video helps, and To all the hijabis who have been wearing the scarf for years and years and years, I totally get it, you know. You look like shit without it, and you need to figure out what a good haircut. Oh god, and then there's the problem of finding an all-female hairdresser that's actually good. You know when you want to go blonde, every hairdresser refuses to do it because they don't want to damage your hair. So then I end up doing it, and I use like 10 bottles of bleach, and my hair is fine, and I do it, so it's very annoying. That's the end of that video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!